Moving on, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Saturday that the pause in the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict ended due to Hamas, claiming the terror group reigned on commitments. He highlighted that the end of the pause resulted from Hamas breaking commitment, citing a terrorist attack in Jerusalem and firing rockets before the pause had ended. Listen into that statement.
I made clear that after the pause, it was imperative that Israel put in place clear protections for civilians and for sustaining humanitarian assistance going forward. And as we've seen just today, Israel's already moved out on parts of that, including sending out information, making it clear where people could be in safe areas in Gaza. And we'll be looking at that going forward. It's very, very important. It's also important to understand why the pause came to an end. It came to an end because of Hamas. Hamas reneged on commitments it made. In fact, even before the pause came to an end, it committed an atrocious terrorist attack in Jerusalem, killing 3 people, wounding others, including Americans. It began firing rockets before the pause had ended, and as I said, it reneged on the commitments it made in terms of releasing certain hostages.
And while rockets lit up the night sky above Gaza late on Friday after a week-long ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas expired earlier in the day, on Friday, airstrikes hit houses and buildings in the besieged territory from the first few minutes after the truce expired.
People in the Gaza Strip were struck by missiles after resumption of the Israel-Hamas war on Friday, as a temporary ceasefire came to an end. Israeli fighter jets hit targets in the Gaza Strip minutes after a week-long truce expired on Friday as the war with Hamas resumed in full force. One of the strikes hit a neighborhood in Rafah. Some 2 million people, almost its entire population, are crammed into the territory's south, where Israel urged people to relocate at the start of the war and has since vowed to extend its ground assault.
عمي وولاده شقتين، ولاده الاثنين هم شقتين. عم اخوي خلينا طبعا، كنا جايين من الدار تاعت اخويا والمحلات نخلي يعني الاغراض والطقم وهذا. قصفوا الدار اليوم الصبح. عملنا تتجدد طبعا، كنا جايين واحنا بطريقنا صفية.
Bodies were brought to the Al-Aqsa hospital in the central Gaza Strip as Israeli airstrikes resumed. An Israeli airstrike on the camp of Maghazi in the Gaza Strip killed and wounded several people. Renewed hostilities heightened concerns for the about 140 hostages who remain in the Gaza after more than 100 were freed as a part of the truce. Only hours into the renewed offensive, the health ministry of Hamas controlled Gaza and said 32 people had been killed and dozens wounded.
استغاثة من مواطن غزاوي إلى كل دول الدول العربية والإسلامية، أغثونا 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 أغثونا، خطية أولادنا وأطفالنا في رقابكم. الآن نحن نباد إبادة جماعية بمدينة غزة تقام، وندعو إلى وقف إطلاق النار عاجل عاجل عاجل.
Black smoke billowed from the besieged territory, and Israel dropped leaflets as part of southern Gaza, urging people to leave their homes, suggesting it was preparing to widen its offensive. One of the strikes hit an area in Khan Yunis. Residents and rescue workers looked through the debris at the site in the Khan Yunis area.
احنا نسوان اولاد صغار، يعني والله ما في شيء، والله ما في شيء اللي نتخوف منه، يعني ولا شيء، يعني قايمين حياتنا عاديه، حسب انهم يعني قلنا ان شاء الله في امل يتمدد الهدنه واحنا كويسين، وهينا قايمين نعمل لاولادنا الصغار هي العجين وهذا على ايدينا.
More than 3/4 of the population of 2.3 million have been uprooted. after weeks of Israeli bombardment and a ground campaign leading to a humanitarian crisis. Bureau Report, Republic TV.